There's no need to rewatch it. I was just curious that if anybody had seen it. We are in the game waiting for them to spawn. The first 1 versus 1 out of 4 in a whole series where we're gonna have 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, and 4 versus 4.
Just to say, on that note of of watching the VOD, I mean, just because you know you watched it, it might have been so good that you want to watch it again. I mean, there's always been that YouTube video where you're just like, that was so good, you just have to replay it.
Yeah, especially that 1.5 hour long one.
Oh, okay. Or maybe not.
Alright, as I said, Corneve for AD versus Justin Bieber for LK. I mean, you could just call him Justin.
Yeah, can we do that, please?
Have you seen the decals on his wings, though?
Oh my lord, I'm scared. I'm scared. Oh my lord. I thought this was simulator. Those decals are arcade level.
Yeah, arcade level decal, simulator level gameplay. What can go wrong? Everything.
Rams.
Rams.
I'm waiting for that one guy in Twitch chat to say
and actually, Corneve is getting the better here, and I don't see any damage. Actually, that is almost sad for Corneve to have not done any damage on that pass. But he's using the flaps, so he's getting another opportunity here. I don't know. Maybe Justin is on his last tune right now.
No more puns from you today, please.
Or the last verse. That's how it goes. All right.
Oh. As you said, Corneve obviously using the flaps to really get as much lift out of the plane. The plane doesn't exactly turn very well. It is a BF-109 after all.
Nicknamed the Brick by many players.
Nicknamed the Brick. But I mean, it does pack one hell of a punch. Justin Bieber using stealth rounds.
Yeah, but a brick also patches quite a. Like if you throw a brick in someone's face,
yes,
it's gonna do damage.
Yes.
And that's pretty much what the BF-109 is.
Yep.
It's that brick on your face.
So I guess the brick analogy is a very good analogy. Also falls out of the sky a bit like a brick, especially when you're doing hammerheads.
At this point, Justin is coming on the tail of Corneve, but this is actually looking very good for Justin. And now it's about whether or not he can stay on the tail of Corneve here. He should have used flaps, but, you know, who am I to tell him? Maybe did not have enough energy to lift.
No, I don't think either of them do, really. That's why they're just climbing slowly in a circle. So now we're just waiting for the upward spiral.
To make one thing again perfectly clear, there has been 0 hate on the BF-109. We have just stated facts. We actually do like seeing the BF-109 in these duels. Again, it packs one hell of a punch. It's a really interesting plane. Nobody, like, since it's mirror matches, whatever plane they pick, nobody has the advantage or disadvantage, and Justin just pilot sniped Corneve. That brings LK up one leg.
As you said, yeah. And then using the aerobatic smoke at the end to display his dominance.
I thought it was just marking his territory. Like kittens do.
Kittens.
Well, and cats. Ghetto fabulous decal art. So, most likely, within 30 seconds, we're gonna have another pair of players readying up and going into the next 1 versus 1.
We still need to get those dots sorted. That way you can have the legs.
Yeah,
shown.
we'll have that. We'll have that for the next tournament. Who will fly out? Waiting for them to spawn.
It will be Full Fire versus B77R.
Oh, you already peaked?
I'm just that. I'm psychic.
Aren't all British.
Yes, we are.
That's why you couldn't hold on to your colonies.
Ooh.
You knew you were losing them anyway. That's what I mean. Like, since you were
Anyway.
and psychic, you're like, all right, we cannot hold on to India anymore. We'll just let them be independent. Fall Fire flying out for LK versus B77R for AD. Waiting for them to find each other, as I cannot even see the oh, there we go. More of a side turn here from Fall Fire, who actually, I don't know, it must have been, whatever happened there, he definitely turned better than B77. He's now doing an upward turn. I just now hear him using flaps. Fall Fire almost doing a hammerhead here. Well, yeah, pretty much, but it won't matter much because 7 is on his way up. They just swap places. It's actually coming around much better, using the flaps instead of, letting the gravity handle his downfall. Probably could put him in a slightly better position. Now they're doing corkscrews, and someone has turned down his throttle. From the sounds of it.
Yeah, Full Fire probably just wants to get him on to overshoot.
This could quickly end up being a game where they both fight it out close to the deck, close to the ground, close to the terrain. As we can see, they're dropping altitude like nothing right now. Like, they're both going down, down, down. Actually, holy shit, Fall Fire need to... Oh, that was close. Like, he just had so much speed coming down there that, yeah, terrain becoming a factor quickly. And yet again, like, there is a mountainside here. He's definitely going to be able to avoid it this time as well, but...
There's B77R. There's a tree.
Oh, ho, ho.
I don't know if they can do another turn.
Well, they are definitely going for it, though. With flaps, there's no problem. Fall Fire doesn't seem to have an issue. Like, it goes upwards a little bit. And I can hear flaps being used a little bit on 7 here, but...
But I mean, look at how slow they're going now because of those flaps. Right, they have lost a lot of energy and momentum using them.
So, as soon as they get down, they can't obviously continue doing those corkscrews, whatever you want to call them. They're ending up in this turn fight, and this is probably the most common thing we've seen in the entire tournament, is these 1 versus 1 duels where they end up turning and turning and turning and turning, and...
First one to get whose arm gets tired.
Yeah, first one whose arm gets tired, or just patience runs out. I'm happy that both seemingly never have enough patience to continue this, because this could technically go on until both of them run out of fuel. There's really nothing
then it would be about
preventing it.
throttle management.
Yeah. However, this is about staying or not staying in the tournament. Whoever wins has to face MBSI in the next round before they get to the grand final. I actually haven't looked yet if they're gonna be playing matches for third and fourth place,
I feel like B77R is slightly catching up.
It looks like it. Fall Fire did get close to some trees there recently, but
like, even if it's slightly, it just seems like every sort of turn he gets his nose closer and closer to the tail of Full Fire.
Which, in my opinion, is weird. Like, technically, it shouldn't be like that, but it definitely looks like it.
Must be a mirage.
So by like 5 years from now, maybe he will have his nose pointed at him.
Maybe.
Well, guys, exciting this is. Of course, we all knew it.
This is why you don't pick the beef BF 109.
The beef. Don't pick
Beef.
the beef.
The beef stew.
The beef 109.
You know what we should get these guys for Christmas?
A flight
Wooden,
manual.
wooden spoons.
Wooden spoon.
Because they're really good at going in circles and stirring things.
Stirring things up. Oh.
I've been waiting to use that pun for so long.
I can tell.
I've been storing it up.
You've been practicing it in front of the mirror.
No, I can't. I can no longer not use that. I should have saved it for the final if it happened, but I don't know how many more games I can save it for before it will just not be like it wouldn't happen. Like knowing my luck, we wouldn't see it in the final and I wouldn't be able to use it, and then I'd forget it for the next year. And it'd be depressing.
I don't know, Robic. I'm not gonna read your comment, but I do find exactly. I mean, obviously we have different tastes and stuff, but honestly, that would be one of the best things ever. Probably, actually, you know, that would be a very encouraging thing to see. To know that old age doesn't get you down
Okay, we
or
can
anything.
stop now.
So I don't understand that comment really. I disagree with you, but I respect the comment.
So these guys must have arms of steel. I'm not gonna lie. I've honestly tried
if they're
playing.
using joystick, maybe they just rubber banded the joystick. like maybe they both gone AFK. Maybe they're like, I don't know.
They've gone for a walk.
Dinner.
Made some
They're
tea.
like, I'll be back in 5 minutes.
I'm sure Firefall's catching up. Like that might be a mirage, might be fake, but I'm sure of it.
Macwood says, I didn't know they had a tournament for War Thunder. Yeah, well, there you go. Like, every day you can find out new things about life, nature, and War Thunder.
I wish these guys would use flaps. One of them, preferably
wish.
full fire. I mean, B7
Well, now,
Arsons.
oh, wait. This is looking really good right now. He's, yeah, look at this. Oh, critted! Done! Woo! I have no idea what he did, though. But whatever he did, whatever it was, it worked.
I feel like right at the end he used whatever energy he had left to try and turn it as sharply as possible, seeing as though he saw full fire starting to sort of slow down and stall out. So he must have used whatever energy he had left to put that thing in full throttle, just go for it, YOLO swag, pulled in as hard as he could, got a few shots off, bam, critted.
Yeah. And that's what he needed. Was it LK who took the first leg?
Yes, because it was
So it's a 1-1 then.
Justin Bieber. Yeah, Justin Bieber won the first round, and he's on LK. That's the only reason I remember. It's because of Justin Bieber.
I was gonna say, yeah, this is actually the Super Cup. So this is like the top. Well, we're at the very end of the Super Cup. It's been going on for like 2 weeks, and we're now at the end of it, where this is the second last round of loser bracket in Simulator. After this game, we're doing the round 5 loser bracket realistic battles. So we're gonna see both of those here today. So yeah, last year we had 2 major tournaments. Like, I would call it the World Cup. It doesn't get any more than that. Like, the best teams in the world. Well, every team who wanted to could sign up and play in the Gladiator tournament, and at the end of it, we knew who was the best teams in the world of realistic battles and simulator battles in War Thunder. However, the last tournament was cut in 2. It had like Eastern countries, like Russian, Ukraine, like those countries in one tournament, and they had the which kind of involved, you know, Europe, America, we even having a Japanese team in the Western tournament, and the top 8 in each tournament qualified or went into this Super Cup. And this is where we find out who's the best of the best in the world of War Thunder competitive gameplay. And it is really interesting. Like, sure, the circle jerk we just saw is obviously not as interesting as, you know, other maneuvers. Like we just saw the most boring part of the 1 versus 1 duels. Like the most boring part was just seen. Like that's unfortunately one of the things that could happen in a 1 versus 1. They just turn and turn and turn and turn and turn.
I do feel like it is more common with the BF-109.
And it seems to happen more often with the BF-109 because it's less maneuverable than the other airplanes, sure. But still, the most boring stuff, no matter the airplane, just the most boring stuff, we just saw it. However, when we go into 2 versus 2 and 4 versus 4, things get really much more interesting. And we've had some great 1 versus 1s too, so not to take away from that. We have that IRS Cat flying out for AD versus Nitro Express for LK. They both have 1 duel each one. They just passed each other. And we should see some maneuvering happen here.
Maybe a few shots as they pass over each other? No.
No, nobody got the nose on the other one.
No. I mean, in all the other rounds, we've seen a few shots being fired. I mean, in the second pass, I should say.
If there is a second pass.
Well,
from the looks of it, Nitro is getting his nose pretty well around here, but so seemingly we have this corkscrew type of thing going on, very common. Usually that also brings them down towards the ground kind of quick. Even though they don't seem to be losing that much altitude, but yeah, they are definitely getting, yeah, they're, well, here we are, here's the ground.
I honestly thought Cat was going to hit the mountain.
I actually swapped in just to see if he did.
Because the way that plane was starting to nosedive towards the ground, I was like,
And his maneuver has not been helping him in the way that Nitro have been flying. I feel Nitro should here. Oh, here we go. He's going to get a chance right here. Nope, but train became a factor and Nitro won it because, well, he outmaneuvered Cat, I guess you could say, or Cat just, you know, overall.
Also probably panicked because
he wasn't careful.
Obviously panicked because obviously he was being shot at, but he didn't get any hits off. Nitro didn't get any hits off because
I don't think he actually. I don't think he ever had him straight on the crosshair.
But it's like, oh my god, somebody's shooting at me. Must maneuver. Uh-oh, I didn't think about the mountain.
Oh, the mountain.
What is this strange large object coming at me rather quickly? This Lara Loucha needs a long name. I guess you... Never mind. I know that's not the correct quote, but it's close enough.
It's close enough.
Close enough. So, okay, wow. LK going 2-1 up.
If LK wins the next round, they win the first point. If AD wins the next round, then we're all gonna have a tiebreaker, a 5th 1 versus 1.
And while that second round's so far been sort of the longest, so far these have, you know, comparative to some of the other games we've seen, such as the NBSI game that was like 2 hours long, these rounds haven't been too long.
No, the previous one took its time, but I mean, we've seen
this one
1
was
versus
fairly quick.
1s. Yeah, we've seen 1 versus 1s being longer than the previous one.
Half an hour plus.
Yeah, well, you've seen that.
Yep.
And here we go, loading into the map for the third 1 versus 1. to Pa flying out for LK versus Mac Coffee flying out for 80. Passing each other.
I gotta say, these guys do get really close to each other.
Mm.
It does unnerve me.
Well, Pegtabai is turning pretty well here, using stealth rounds. Did not hit anything. Not really climbing as much as McCoffee is, but just enough to actually be able to probably finish him off. Oh, he just missed! But McCoffee's now falling, and Pegtapa come up with a little bit extra energy, and he's now on the tail of McCoffee. If he can just... No!
Control it.
He rolled the wrong way. Now McCoffee is on the tail of him. He is not using stealth rounds.
I think he might be using stealth rounds on the cannon, but not on the machine gun.
Okay.
Because normally the cannon is quite a large, quite obvious to spot round.
Oh yeah. Makes sense.
Back to the spinning.
Oh yeah, the spinning. McCoffee being close to the ground. And so is both of them. Like they're taking turns at doing passes on the ground. Like, oh, you can do that, I can do that too, but closer. I dare you to fly closer than me. Ends up being a daredevil match.
This is where McCoffee goes, challenge accepted, hits ground. I do once again feel like the ALK member, Vector Par, is catching up with McCoffee. I don't really know how. Like, he must be turning slightly harder, but then you would think he would lose more momentum and he would slow down.
Exactly. But right now, I don't think anyone is gaining on anyone.
Nothing.
No.
I don't know, it's hard to tell. I feel like he is catching up.
Dragot is asking, I wonder if the next Gladiator tournament will mix up the plane brackets. Well, they've done so far between each tournament, Dragot. They have actually swapped and changed a few of the airplanes in the plane pool. So yes. And it is the teams that veto and removes airplanes before the matches that kind of decide. So I don't think no matter what planes they put in there, there will always be these 1 and 2 airplanes you'll see a majority of the times. It looks like Pectobai is gaining on McCoffee, but I hardly can tell.
I gotta say, like, this must be one of those situations where it's like, what do I do? Because...
Yeah, what do you do?
Especially if you're Coffee, because this isn't like a normal game. Like, in a normal game, you'd probably just fly in a straight line, try and climb, try and, you know, just maneuver normally, but you can't run away.
Coffee's trying to... Do you see how he did, like, a more upward turn? He goes, like, up and not, like, more wave pattern. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But I'm afraid that is actually only helping Pectopa. Honestly, look at this. Look at this. I told you.
Wait.
Maybe he's he's
Yes.
hoping for Pectopar to not be
No,
able to,
I saw the wobble from
damage.
Pectopar.
but the damage, the damage. Ooh! It would have been fun if he ran into him though. But
Oh, hang on. Can he come out of this stall though?
you need 15 seconds to save this plane.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He's not gonna make it.
No,
He's not gonna make it.
He's making it.
No. God.
No, yeah.
Oh,
Called it.
fine. But what I was gonna say is
That was close.
I saw the wobble in Pectopar's plane, and I was like, he's not gonna get that nose up. He's not gonna get that nose up.
I mean, he only needed the nose for the crosshair for like a second, tops, to be able to fire enough bullets to destroy McCoffey.
Even watching it back on the replay, I thought he wasn't gonna make it.
Yeah. He could have used flaps.
Could have used flaps. Yeah, I hope. Alright, if there's one change I hope they make, if I was...
It's remove the BF-109 and the Yak-1B.
Oh, I was just gonna say that. Like, it's like we're psychic.
I knew. Yeah. Well, you know, obviously your psychic powers is you know, infecting me. It's like a virus, you know. The zombie apocalypse is soon upon us. The British tea drinking will consume everyone.
Sounds like a good
Alright.
time.
Anyway, LK is up 1 point versus AD, and they're now getting ready for the 2 versus 2. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I want them to continue the Gladiator tournaments, is to be like, alright, the Yak-1B and the BF-109 saw like 90% of the games, so let's replace them with something else, you know? Just to force that change, you know?
Right, let's split them. Or take one out completely. So,
Or both. I would not mind both. Like, you know, since they're both so dominant in this tournament, I want to see both planes out. 3-minute break already. All right. Well, then.
you know what time it is.
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 So what's the what?
It's 18:39. That is the time.
You know what time it is.
You know
Wait,
what time
that's
it is.
from something. That's from.
I have no idea what it is from. I just thought it was good.
It. Everybody knows it. You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
Probably a
But I
game
can't
show.
remember like the
Probably
official.
Wheel of
yeah.
Fortune. Anyways, on a more serious note, what really is the time screen?
Well, on Jupiter right now.
You know what I
is- It is 10:40
Okay.
p.m. Oh, right. Okay. According to NASA, the universe time is now 4 million years. No, billion years. And 1. Fucking. Yeah, it's time to. Well, as always, Cytec and Rotec sponsoring the tournament. Awesome! And, you know, on top of that, obviously Rocket having their Tired Mouse out for purchase, which, you know, I'm still waiting for mine. Come on, where is it? Where is it? Give it to me, baby! Alright, just so you guys know, I don't have one on its... I wish I had one, but... You know, yeah, give it to me. It's the Rocket Tie-In mouse. It has 16 buttons. It has a fin switch. I think it's the official term, fin switch. And we're gonna watch that video real quick.
Let's do it.
Hammer time it is.
Meet the Rocket Tie-On, featuring the brand new Rocket Accelerator analog thumb paddle, giving you unrivaled command capabilities. The new Rocket Fin Switch, letting you execute multiple maneuvers at the same time. 4 ergonomic top buttons, instinctively placed so that you can hunt for prey, not for buttons. Meet the new standard in gaming mouse control.
So yeah, guys, as Scream said, the fancy 16-button mouse with fin switch. I do hope Scream does get one, so he can tell me if it's awesome.
You want me to get it first? You want me to be the, what do you call
Guinea
it?
pig.
Like the guinea pig? Yeah, I was gonna say like the crash dummy or...
Well, I mean, my hands aren't particularly massive.
No, because of the tea drinking.
Right. You know, we've got very sensitive china teapots. We can't have massive hulking hands. It doesn't work. You know, you have to have petite hands. Whereas you can't, you know, pinky up at the, you know what I mean. Anyways.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're like, well, you know, I've got massive hands and this mouse is tiny, it might be perfect for me. But if you're like, well, this mouse is perfect for my massive hands, I'm gonna be like, well, I gotta have small mice. My petite hands.
I am really curious about it. I've seen it in 2 colors. It seems to have a white and a black edition. Like they have one black and one or gray-ish and one white edition. And I'm not much for white. The white one looks really cool, and it's less than 30 seconds. I'm sure we're into the 2 versus 2, by the way. But I always go gray, white stuff. Gray, black, because, you know, white looks cool the first week.
It gets
or
dirty.
2 days. Until it gets dirty, and it's like,
Right.
ah.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
So yeah. Mhm.
Yep.
And having
It's like having a
hands on
white
it
car.
every day. Having
Right.
my hands on it every day, right? Getting home from work, you know, because I obviously work in the very manly retail industry. Being like, oh, dirty. You know, it would you know quickly get to the great part anyway.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's like
Cannot
having
have
a white
white.
car. White
Who
cars.
has that?
White cars scratch and look like horrendous after like a
I mean,
a
you
minute
go
of
to the
cleaning
car
them.
dealer and you're like, oh, that white car looks delicious. It's like an iCar. But and then you're like, yeah, who gets one?
But
Nobody.
then you don't also like I don't. Anyways, we're in the game.
Corneve and B77R flying out for AD versus Nitro Express and Justin flying out for LK.
Any interesting decals on any of these planes before we get started? Other than
Well,
on
I mean,
Senor
obviously,
Justin's.
no. Well, there is a 0 on Corneve. He added a 0. And actually,
Oh,
they've added something to the
decals.
tails. Do you see that? Like, it's very discreet. You think
which
it's
team?
original? On Corneve, AD, and B77. They have like one has a card, and one has like just like the square. It looks like it's original.
Yeah, maybe.
it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not. It's not. So discreet that it looks really good. We have Corneve trying to battle
know
with
what you mean.
Nitro. Yeah, you see that's how discreet it is. I had to like compare.
Yeah, sorry, I got it mixed up. Even my English is terrible. Sorry. When you said it's original, I was like, it's an original idea. I
Beaver
whoops.
shut down by
I saw it.
B77. Oh, you catch it? Great.
I
That was
did
on the other
catch it.
pair. So now it's a 2 versus 1. Nitro versus Corneve and B77. And, well, Nitro is kinda trying to get on the tail of Corneve, which, you know, if they just keep turning, he won't. And, well, I guess we'll see 7-7. He's actually trying to... Wait, is he climbing? Climbing aggressively. Where are they relatively of him? I cannot even tell. I can't find them. I don't know where he's going.
The closest
Pop
one
that
is Corneve.
smoke. I can't even see one of them.
Yeah,
Oh, I
he's
see
shooting it
bullets.
now.
So Nitro is now pretty much just trying to go... Wait,
Nitro needs
he
to
has
put those flaps up. Because he's going to be bleeding a bit of speed. There we go. Wasted a lot of energy there.
Well, Corneve is now pretty much... He should have this almost. Oh, he just missed. He's using flaps, I think, from the sound of it. But having 2 people trying to gun for you, it's looking very grim. Corneve and B77 is both on the tail, and there we have B77 finishing off Nitro. So AD takes the first leg in the 2 versus 2, which could be a good thing for them, since LK got the first point. This is advantage AD going into the second 2 versus 2. If AD wins that one, they get 2 points.
We have captured a zone. Victory is ours. Let's go home.
You guys in Twitch chat being very creative. You guys should definitely work in the R&R. I think it's R&R. Is that what they call it? R&R department of Rocket, maybe. Is R&R the research and development? Is it, or is it R&D? R&D, research and development. Ah, it's R&D, I think. R&D you should work in. I have no idea what R&R is. One guy is saying that he has throttle on the mouse, which is interesting actually. I have throttle on the keyboard. R&D, there we go. 2 min for technical break.
Somebody's joystick is
Goddamn,
probably not working.
we need to get more videos. We do not have enough videos for these breaks.
It's okay. We'll just carry on our conversation about why you shouldn't have a white car.
Rest and relaxation. Well, yeah, I mean, you guys could be in that department too. Well, yeah, I mean, this gives me time to go and look into the details of the tournament, as I was wondering whether we were going to be watching... If they're going to be having... I don't think they're actually going to have matches for 3rd and 4th place. I think they're going to consider 3rd and 4th. Well, actually, the loser in round 6 loser bracket automatically is 3rd. Actually. That's why there is, like, the way the tournament tree and the format is set up, there's no way to have a match for 3rd place. Well, I guess the match for 3rd place is actually happening in round 6 loser bracket, because the loser ends up being 3rd, because the winning team moves on to face the team who's waiting in the grand final, which will be the match for 1st and 2nd. So that's how it's gonna go down. All right. So I answered my own question without having to look it up. I just visualized the tournament tree from my head. Yeah, and it does say here 1st, 2nd, 3rd place. Then it's 4th to 8th place, getting prizes. So it's unfortunate. The teams who lost the round of 8 will not get any prizes. Everybody else gets something. But that's still fair. Like, that's still very generous that so many teams get something. Usually you don't see that. Yeah, they have changed up the default key bindings in this game over the course of different patches. It used to be WS on the keyboard, which is actually what I'm still using, and I like it. Like, what else? What do you guys want on the W and S? Like, or do you not use it, or what do you guys use for? I can understand if you use it for. Here's actually, like, if you go further back, the default throttle on the keyboard was also actually shift and control.
Yeah, no, that's... You can't... No. Whoever has that is wrong. Like, in every FPS... Look, come on, let's be honest. In every FPS...
But this is not an FPS, this is
irrelevant.
An airplane game.
In every... No. What is forward, though? When you want to move forward in FPS, what is the button? W.
No,
you want to move backwards, you press S.
There is no forward backwards in this. This is not
well,
an FPS game.
I don't
okay,
know.
so you mean... So in flight, you're like, I want to go backwards, I'm gonna hit S.
Right, if I want to go backwards, I hit S, because that means slow down. I can't truly go backwards unless I put my plane, in a sort of hammerhead maneuver. Then I can go backwards. But yes,
So he uses it for elevator control. What's wrong with that then?
Everything is wrong with that.
Oh, you have no idea how many people actually do that.
That's because they're crazy and their brain like my mind cannot comprehend.
No, Adam, it's just because your muscle memory is used to one thing doesn't make it.
Well, that's just it. My mind cannot comprehend.
I have a friend who cannot play any FPS game. Like, he can't play Call of Duty, he can't play Counter-Strike, he can't play he can't even play War Thunder without inverting the mouse camera aim. Like, he wants up to go down and down to go up. Even if
Those
it's on a
people are even
mouse-
weirder.
Even if it's on a mouse or on a gamepad. Right?
See,
So
then I
I'll
have
get it to
shift and
his
control
place.
for elevator.
So I'll check, like, I'll get to his place, and I'll pick up the gamepad and try and play some Call of Duty zombie mode with him, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? It's inverted! It's kind of interesting. Alright, we have Fallfire 13, Pectopa flying out for LK, Sky Killer and Mac Coffee flying out for AD. AD had the first leg. If AD wins, they take 2 points. If LK wins, then we have a third 2 versus 2. McCoffee is not even going for, I think it was Fallfire who passed him by. He's just now kind of diving to get away from there to try and help his teammate from what it looks like.
Pectopa.
Well, Pectopa just passed him. Maybe he's being bait. Yeah, Fallfire is the one getting bullets fired at him. And actually...
Yeah, he got critically damaged.
Ooh, the left wing is actually pretty damaged. And I think he's leaking coolant.
So a good start for AD, critically damaging one of their opponents.
Mm-hmm, definitely. That was a good crit.
Oh yeah, look at the way that plane's leaning now. That's no fun. Trying to control that at all times.
Inverted control is getting a lot of support from the people in Twitch chat,
Yes.
which know because FPS games were originally made for inverted controls.
Sky
Which is
Killer
true.
is now currently being shot at and critically
Yeah,
damaged.
Sky Killer is killed. He's shut down. Pilot has been killed. This is now a 2 versus 1. AD has one guy. It's Mac Coffee. He has to somehow get... I'm not even sure what he's doing right now.
He's trying to get Pectopa because that's his only
Oh, there he
real
is. I
threat.
didn't find him. Yeah,
Yeah, he's right below him.
Yeah, he's popping smoke to now tell his teammate, "Come get this motherfracker."
But is
And here he comes. Fallfire is. Ooh,
he wasn't
nothing
even
hit,
close. Like those bullets weren't even in the same postcode.
though. Not even in the same.
Like that wing right now is just damaged. I honestly feel like full fire.
Oh, his
is...
engine is out.
Or for full fire.
Yeah.
All salty. Yeah, now he
boy.
really is useless.
So it is a 1 versus 1 then. So it's McCoffee versus Pectopa. Doesn't matter what Fallfire does really.
No.
And you don't need that aerobatic smoke anymore. It won't help you.
No, it's just looked pretty.
It might get in the
turn it
face
off.
of McCoffee.
Right, exactly. Could get in the way.
Like, hopefully he doesn't see anything. Oh, and there we go. That is obviously a a decent amount of damage to the engine. That might,
Firefall.
you know, this is when McCoffee might not see things. I mean, he might be getting oil all over his windshield.
Well, I mean, he's not flying directly behind it now. Like he's kind
No,
of moved
true.
slightly to the left.
Oh,
Now he is.
look at this though. Oh, this is so close.
This is pretty close.
Do not crash though. Oh, just enough damage done. G freaking G. Bam. And AD takes the 2 versus 2. That means 2 points. That means they have 2 points and LK have 1 point. That also means the 4 versus 4 will decide who moves on in the tournament and who is out. No chance for an extended series in the 4 versus 4.
Nope.
Unless they all crash into each other.
Unless they all crash into each other. How many times have we seen that?
Which actually, I wonder if it, no, wait. That's a draw. And would still kind of decide it.
Ooh.
Because AD would still have 2 points towards 1.
So you're saying that you think AD would win?
Yeah. I think AD would win if all crashed into each other.
I am going to disagree with that because then there wouldn't.
Because that's how they
technically-
usually do it in the 1 versus 1s and stuff like that too.
Right.
But no, you're right. No, it will extend it to another 4 versus 4 because they need a winner and somebody to get the point.
Right. So
from
how,
the
who
4
would you
versus
decide
4.
who's like? Could you imagine writing that on the
exactly. So you're right.
scoreboard?
If they all crash, they're gonna play another 4 versus 4 until they have a winner of a 4 versus 4 to give someone the point. That's how it goes down. You're right. It was wishful thinking of me.
But yeah, WNS has to be throw. Has to be shift and control. Has to be
30-second to Reddit.
And to those people who say shift is sprint in most games, yeah, but so is double W. Like, pressing W twice can also cause a sprint in
Nah,
some games.
that's only in certain games.
Well,
Only,
shift
only
is
only in very
games,
bad games. Probably Battlefield.
Maybe. And Call of Duty, I think.
It's so funny that I know which games.
And Call of Duty. I think Call of Duty does it too.
No, shift.
No, I think shift is like crouch or something.
Nope. Control.
I mean, you guys are just weird. We're all just weird in our own ways.
But those saying that first-person shooter games were originally invented using inverted controls are entirely correct. Just go back, load up the first Doom game, and go default controls, and you'll see. Yeah, you can obviously rebind it. I like how people are like going like in detail now. They're like, Call of Duty only used WW recently for the XXS suits in Advanced Warfare.
Dude, when you talk about control schemes, you know, everybody's different, but everybody's right at the same time.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
It's and there's like a billion of different control lines. Here we go. Fallfire, Nitro Express, Justin Bieber, and Pectopa flying out for LK. I mean, the whole band is together. Corny, B77R, Skykiller, and McCoffee flying out for AD. Who will get the last verse? We'll see.
Well, LK have Gladiator's 4v4 title.
They
on
do.
Some of their pilots.
And bullets already being fired here. I think it's McCoffee firing on Nitro.
You got Pectopa
he's
firing
just
on
so
B77.
close.
Nitro taking some
Oh,
damage.
he just did! Boom! Pilot killed. Nitro is dead. McCoffee did it.
Uh-oh.
And here comes
Oh
Justin
my
to
lord.
try and avenge him.
But is
and
the plane going to
he-
fall into Justin? Oh! That was wishful thinking.
Oh.
I honestly thought Nitro's plane was going to crash into Justin. Oh my god! Do you know how close that was?
Yeah, I saw it close. I wasn't Justin. I don't know who you were on. It must have been
I was on
Justin.
Nitro.
Oh. And it's 2 versus 4 now, as Pectopa has been shot down by Corny. Which I unfortunately did not see.
Well, I must say, I would have liked to have seen LK go up against NPSI
And
again.
Justin has Skykiller on the tail. Yeah, I was obviously hoping LK to come back to face MBSI once again, just for the fact of that story being amazing. And unfortunately here, Justin has no wings, and it's now Fallfire who has to defeat 4 people to make the LK versus MBSI return match a thing. He's on the tail of Skykiller. If he can finish him off real quick, without using too many bullets, because he need them to kill the other guys, then, which I just don't see it happening. I think he's kinda, you know, morally given up a little bit here. His tail is now shot. There's just nothing he can do. The left flaps, that is.
Yeah, flap. You're correct.
Yeah, and I mean, there's just no way for him to even pull up here. And
Yeah,
more
I don't
damage
think the
being done.
elevator is working.
Well, AD then, taking the 3 points, coming back after the 1 versus 1 loss.
So, final scores 85, LK1.
Yeah, 5-1. So 80 then will be facing MBSI in what would be considered the loser bracket final, where the winner goes on to the grand final to face Team Verve Gaming. It's gonna be interesting. No matter which team would have was gonna make it through here, it's obviously gonna be interesting to see that match. One that I unfortunately